Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Gentlemen, we know ladies don't watch this. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here in the middle of nowhere, and we're gonna build a garage. It's an 18 by 24. I'm just framing it. Concrete's already there. It's going to get vinyl sided and it's going to get shingled. I'm not doing any of that. We will build this thing. We will install the man door. We'll get it ready for the roofing crew. We'll get it ready for the siding crew, and we will get out of here. So I've already checked the slab for the measurements. 18 by 24, spot on, perfectly square. I've taken all the nuts and washers off of the anchor bolts. I've gone through with my big stick and straightened them all out, make sure they're nice and vertical. Now it's time to go through the material, make sure I have everything that's on the list, start setting up, start laying out some plates. Let's go. Okay, the material list checks out. Everything that was ordered was sent by the lumberyard. I did catch one thing. I had 26 2x6x12s. These are supposed to be rafters, fly rafters, and 2 sections of fascia. I need 32. So that was a short on the contractor's end. I just called into the office, getting 6 more out. You need actually 32 for this. But if you want, you can screenshot this, and there's basically your material list for a bare bones 18 by 24 garage. Let me know if you guys want me to like make an Etsy store and I can maybe get these made into PDFs and sell them to you guys. Some material lists and maybe even some drawings. Let me know down below, and maybe that's something I'll work on over the winter because I should have some time. Probably way too windy out here for you to hear me, but plates laid out. These are the treated bottoms. They're 2 12-footers for the 24-foot wall laid out, 16 on center, 5 inches for a corner, and then this is 15 1/4 from here to here, and then 16 all the way down. This one will split 3/4 on each side of the joint, and this is the 5 inches at the end for the other corner. The door is going to go somewhere in here. I hate when they put the conduit in crooked because I gotta use this big bad boy to give me enough room, and it kicks my butt. Alright, took a quick break to sit in the truck, hydrate a little bit, and wardrobe change because it's sunny out. Let's build some walls.
shelter seal, seal gasket, sill seal as we call it around here. Maybe sill seal if you call it down south. Got some sill seal.
Okay, I survived getting that wall stood with the wind blowing right in my face. I've got a 36-inch door, so the opening is 38 inches, and then that's 81 1/4, but then I'll have to fur that down to fit the actual door size. I'll do that later. I got all my plates on up to where I'm going to need the front wall overlaps. Always overlap your plates at least 4 feet. So I got a bottom seam there, top seam there, 4 feet. Overlap your corners. So like I said, I got those all the way up to the ones that will need to be onto the header, or I went as far as I could. Okay, we will put a header in and then we'll finish the plates. I'm going to get the anchor bolts down. Alright, we're going to get the nuts and washers on the bolts. Then we're going to do the rack braces, make sure everything's plumb on these 3 walls, and then we'll go after the header. At least this is light. Miss number 1. That is no different than any other 16-foot 9-inch header I've installed. Besides, that was absolutely the heaviest one I have ever lifted. Don't do this stuff at home. I'm an idiot, and I'm just doing this for your entertainment. I don't know what's wrong with me. Man, am I glad my wife doesn't watch these.
She would not be happy with what I do on the job site.
Speaking of which, it's the 24th anniversary today of the day I married my beautiful bride. So she doesn't ever watch these, but happy anniversary. I'm heading home from work and I'm gonna shower because I'm in mess, and then we're gonna go out to dinner. So that is a wrap on day one. All the walls up, that header installed. Whew. Barely. Got all the plates on and nailed up. All the walls are bolted down, and I racked up all the walls, plumbed them in, and they're ready to go. So first thing tomorrow we'll be laying out the top plates, getting angle braces from one wall top to one wall bottom to straighten out that wall and brace it up. Then we will ceiling joist it, and then cutting rafters and hopefully getting all the rafters installed tomorrow. I'll have to get OSB on the eave walls to catch the bird's mouth of the rafters, so I've got that to do also. It's supposed to be a lot hotter tomorrow and probably windier again. I don't know if any of this audio that I've done has even come through, but for now I'm heading home because it's a date night. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Howdy folks, day 2 of working in my bean field here. So first thing, we're going to pull the big ladders and the pick off the top of the truck so I can set up. I'm going to lay out the plates, run some angle braces, start setting ceiling joists. The ceiling joists, code enforcement now, they're cross ties, they're not ceiling joists because it's not an actual ceiling. Was 4 feet on center minimum. It's 2 feet on center minimum now. So I'm gonna run them at 4 to give me room to work, and then I'll put the other ones in afterwards. So I'll run half and then put the other half in. You'll see. Let's get to it. I gotta wake up. This is bad. I am sleepy. Let's go see if this wall is straight. Not too bad, but we're gonna bring it in a little bit. That's why you always use your straightest plates for your eave walls. Makes life easier. These are the screws that I use to run ceiling joists. Nails don't hold them as well because they're usually really crooked and twisty. So you get yourself some structural screws. GRK, pick those up at, I think, Home Depot, anywhere really. And they pass code because they are framing screws, structural screws. And they hold everything together way better when you're dealing with a bunch of crooked ceiling joists. So, go get you some of them. We are braced up. I'm gonna run some OSB and then start laying out a rafter pattern and get ready to cut some rafters. We're moving. It's only 9 o'clock. We're doing good. Okay, OSB is up on the eave walls. I've got to pound some nails out that missed because the lines on the OSB were off. Go figure. We're gonna lay out rafters now. We're 18 feet wide. It's a 412 pitch with a 1 foot overhang. So that'll be a 10.5 inch overhang on the rafter. And then 1.5 inches with the 2x6 fascia. We'll lay this out and cut the pattern, show you. I do have a video where it probably doesn't make any sense, but I made a video showing how to lay out a rafter, how to figure it, lay it out and cut it. So if you want to check that out, it'll be in a card over here somewhere. So I'll do this real quick and then I'll show you what I got, and then I'm gonna stack a bunch and start cutting. Look at this. I got an actual real 7 1/4 cordless saw. Thing's nice. This is gonna be the first test actually cutting rafters with it. But I highly recommend one. I wish I would have got one years ago. So hey, link in the description. Do it, but I gotta go get my reading glasses. I'm getting blind in my old age. All right, I'm gonna stack all these and get to cutting them, and then I'll catch back up with you. Thing is great. It's a little heavy with the 6 amp hour battery on it, but it's a little heavy anyway. Big problem I have is that when I stack a bunch of rafters on my sawhorses, which are kind of too tall for me because I'm short, it really ergonomically pinches me. Makes things a little heavier than they need to be, but I love this thing. Go pick one up. All right, all my rafters are cut. Stood up against the wall. I got my ridge in order here. I have a 1 foot overhang on the front and the rear. Laid out every 2 feet. This is my first ridge in the back. This will be the front ridge, and I do have, oh, I just ran into a brace. I do have my ridge holder upper. This should be about the right height, I hope. I did it by math, and I leave myself a little bit of leeway, but that should be pretty good to set my ridge there. Start setting some rafters. Okay, it's stupid windy up above the walls here, so I don't really have a good place to put the camera up. You guys have seen me set these rafters before, and I'll put a link to the video where I'm doing it. But that is the first section of ridge set. I'm going to take my bracing. This one's just going to flip from this joist to that joist, and then that one's going to come off the wall and go down yonder, and we're going to set the other one. That one was big and heavy. A lot of material is crazy heavy on this job for some reason. So we're going to get this section set and then run a couple angle braces to make sure everything is solid. Then hopefully get all the rest of these rafters run before I sweat to death and pass out. Well, it's cooking out here, so I'm going to pack it in for the day, end of day 2 here. So the ridge is set, and I set opposing rafters in the center of each ridge, so it straightens it up, because they're like 12-foot ridges. One was 13 and 11, and they'll bow in the middle. And I wanted to make sure that they were not bowing in the middle, so now they're set nice and solid. I can throw the rest of the rafters at it, make sure everything lines up in place. I put angle braces on each end wall to hold everything together. Oh, that's about it. I think first thing tomorrow, I'm gonna try to be on the road ASAP in the morning, stay ahead of this heat. Run the rest of the rafters and then start closing in the gables. And I don't think I'm going to want to put the time in to get it done in 3 days. It'll probably end up being 4, which isn't the greatest, because I'm like, I think 2 counties over from where I live, so it's a bit of a drive to get to the beans here. But it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to survive to fight another day. All right, guys, I'm out of here, and I'll see you in a split second. All right, it's bright and early, well, dark and early, morning of day 3. Want to get on the road early as I could today. To get there, it's already 70-some degrees and like 90% humidity. It's gonna be another scorcher today. We had some big storms come through last night. Hopefully the garage is still there. We're gonna find out in a second. But I'm gonna roll for a good deal of time, and then I will catch up with you guys on the job. All right, we're gonna run all the rest of these rafters, and then we're going to go after that back wall and gable. Let's do it. These king posts and collar ties in, and then besides the joists will be done in there, because not only every 4 feet needs a king post, only every 4 feet needs a collar tie. All right, king posts and collar ties are in. I'm gonna go dry my face off, and then we're gonna go after these fascias. Well, I put the fascias on the other side, and I did not have the GoPro turned on, which is bad for you, good for me, because I was tripping over my hose and dropping things on that side, so you didn't see any of that. Hopefully this goes a little more smooth. Let's find out. Look at this thing. You see that? That's what I get. That's what I have to work with. I can't deal with this stuff. That makes me a prima donna. That actually went pretty well. I'm going to throw the OSB on the back wall. Then I'm going to set all my scaffold up and get ready to go after the gable studs, the gable sheathing, and then I think we can throw the fly rafters on in one fell swoop, then move to the front. That took longer than I hoped, but it's done. Even got my marks, so I just made my marks for my line for the first row of sheathing on the roof, which I'm get your brain working. Not sure that's going to go up there today. That would make this a pretty long day. I don't want to make the drive again tomorrow, but I might do a couple shorter days instead of trying to grind this out in one long day when it's going to be 90-some degrees shortly. Let's go knock out this front. Hey, just between you and me, since no one's watching this, you guys didn't see this. It'll be fine. Alright, got the front all done. Started breaking down my scaffold. Gonna do a little bit of sawzall work, tune some things up, probably get out of here. I want to say when I set up for doing my closing in my gables, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, I stack a bunch of OSB, then I will go to one gable, get all my gable stud measurements and OSB measurements. I will cut all of the OSB, then I will throw all the studs on, and I will cut all the studs I need, then I'll go install the studs, and then I'll go install the OSB. That leaves me a pile of studs that already have the angle on them to do the next gable. And then once I cut the studs and clear them out of the way, I'm back to my OSB, and then I can cut that and install it. I don't know if I've mentioned that before in a different video, but it's just one of the ways that I try to streamline things and not make them any harder on me than they already are. It's just, you know, order of operations, I guess. That's how I do it. Maybe you do it differently. All right, that's about it for the day for me. I had a little bit of a screw up. Originally, I needed to clip my joists, so I had to go through and sawzall all those off. I still have joists to install, so I will clip them beforehand. Also, I realized that a contractor on the list shorted me 2 joists, so I guess I get to go run to closest lumber yard around here and pick up 2 18-foot 2x6s for tomorrow morning. But, you know, whatever, I guess. Just do their job too, you know. This is my own job. I shouldn't be doing this crap. Anyway, so I got my sawzall work all done because I'm a big mess today, so I figured I'd get it all out of the way now. And also I drilled in an anchor bolt next to the door. We've already got one within good spacing there. Tomorrow I definitely have some nails I need to pound out. I'll have to work on that. But first thing in the morning is probably hitting Menards, I think is the closest. Getting my joists, getting here. OSB on that roof is the first thing I want to do before it gets all hot and horrible. It shouldn't be a terribly long day tomorrow, but I've said things like that before. It doesn't always work out. Alright, catch you guys tomorrow. Alright, day 4. Let's go grab some lumber, get this thing done. 2 2x6x18s, $29. Guess that's not too bad. Let's go load these things up, get this job done. Nice if they told you where everything was. Seeing how they make you do all your own work around here. But I guess that's why you save big money at Menards.
18 and 20 foot lumber. That looks promising. Good morning. Strapped up top. All set? Thank you much. All right, let's roll. First thing, we're going after the OSB on the roof. Shut up, I buckled up. We're going after the OSB on the roof. And then we've got to install the man door. We've got to get the trim around the overhead door. And then we've got to get all the rest of these joists installed. It should be about it. Sounds simple enough. We'll have to see how well it actually goes. All right, let's go. Nah, I'm just playing. It's too early for that crap. Okay, just for a goof, I'm gonna run the 4 joists that I can right now. Just so it's a little easier to maneuver them in without OSB on the roof. We'll get that done, and then we'll start throwing the OSB at the roof. Onward and upward. This is for entertainment purposes only. Remember that. Okay. 4 weeks later, we can finally start throwing some OSB up. Start nailing this crap up. This is the worst OSB I've ever worked with. Wish I could make money getting paid. Be an idiot. To the other side. That took longer than I had expected. No. Well, as long as I expected. It took longer than I hoped. Alright, I threw my first couple, full 4-foot sheets that I could on this side. And now I've got the two last spots exposed where the joists need to go. With this side completely sheeted and that side all done, tied into that gable, I can confidently pull these angle braces now and then run them as the ceiling joist while I have the room to work. So I will get that all done and then I will hop back up there. So it wasn't 5 minutes after I got that last sheet of OSB on the roof that the roofing / siding crew showed up. They got to work immediately, fired up the compressor, so all you heard was the compressor and the banging on the roof. I had no good video from there on out. All I had to do, though, was to set the service door, get the handle and the deadbolt in, and trim out the overhead door. So that's all you really missed. It's unfortunate. I've had several jobs like this go sideways right at the end, seemingly. But what can you do? I mean, there's no one watching this at this point anyway. We're like an hour and some into this video. So, my apologies for that. Also, my apologies for the audio. There was a lot of wind, and I know that wasn't doing very well, so you probably got quite a bit of music in this one to block out the, bad audio. But I know people complain about the music, too, and you can't please everyone. So I picked some cool YouTube music and I put it on there sometimes, okay? So just deal with it. Get off my back, okay? There's a lot of stress trying to do this here. Anyway, I did try one time to actually run with my wireless microphone while I was working. And the nail gun, every time that thing cracked, it just destroyed the audio. So it's kind of a toss-up between, do I keep a wireless microphone on, which is a hassle and a burden when I'm doing this video, or just run it with the onboard mics, and that doesn't turn out well either. So I go with the thing that's less of a hassle of not having to have the contraption of the, wireless mic on me. So I apologize this video ends this way, but hey, I'm going to leave you with a couple pictures of the finished product, or the build in the finished product, or something else. Maybe I'll throw in a picture of the dog, or the Jeep, or something at the end. But I will see you guys on the next video. Yep, that went great. They love you. They love you, and they're all coming back. They're all hitting subscribe right now. They're hitting subscribe.